With that in mind, to Councillor Lance Boussiers, Councillor Kendra Cardinal, and Councillor Stu Weigel, congratulations on your re-election to council. To our newcomers, Councillor Ty Brandt, Councillor Luana Boussiers, Councillor Greg Cowboy Marcel, Councillor Kyle Van Kasten, and I will get that right by the end of the next few months, Kyle. Councillor Jennifer Vardy, welcome to the Horseshoe. And also not so newcomers, familiar faces in Councillor Mike Allen and Councillor Don Scott on their re-election here as council. And I've already been inspired by all the collective passion around this Horseshoe over the last few weeks, so all the meetings we've had together. I'd like to also acknowledge former councillors Ken Ball, Funky Benjoko, Sharif Dogar, Alan Granison, Stell Lavalley, Keith McGrath for his 12 years plus service, Loretta Walkman, and I'd be remiss if I didn't mention or leave it to the end, late Councillor Jane Stroud. Thank you all for your dedication, service, and commitment to this region. And some ways it goes on for many, many years. This gratitude also extended to the ICO Jody Butts and his team across the municipality over the last few years and moving forward. Also a special thank you to Elder Lorraine Albert for starting us off in a good way in smudging council chambers before our first council meeting. And also, on behalf of myself and council, I'd like to express our gratitude to all those working to restore full municipal water services in Fort Chipewyan. Clean, safe, accessible drinking water is essential. It's necessary. And it's not just a core service, it's more than that. We have a core responsibility and moral obligation to ensure water is always there when people need it. So I'd like to express my thank you to Chief Alan Adam, Chief Billy Joe Tuckerow, President Kendra Cardinal, and all the leadership members of those nations. And everyone in the community and the municipality working to get this back on track as soon as possible. We really appreciate and thank all the elders and people of Fort Chipewyan for their resolve and how they've been there for each other this past week. And thank you to my council colleagues for making sure we express this tonight and for our attention on this matter and the first of our term. And of course, a major thank you to all the industry partners that supported this response. With ICO Butts and our staff, Fort Chipewyan community and other organizations, I've always said the greatest resources are people, and this is just another case that proves that. Moving on to the meeting, if anyone in attendance wishes to address council on any of the agenda items, please see Legislative Services desk to my right. You'll have 5 minutes to present. Remain seated for questions, and please remain on topic. Councillors, are there any amendments to the agenda? Councillor Van Kasten.
Thank you, Mayor. I move that the agenda be amended by adding the following. New item number 5, closed session. 5.1, personal matter, advice from officials pursuant to section 29(1) of the Access to Information Act. And new item 3.4 under consent agenda to appoint the Northern Alberta Aboriginal Business Association representative to the Wood Buffalo Pro-Business Advisory Committee. That council waive any requirement to serve notice relative to the proposed additions and that the agenda be adopted as amended.
Thank you, Councillor Van Kasten. Thanks for the second, Councillor Cardinal. And I'll call for a vote. Yeah. Seems the system isn't working here, so I'm going to, by raise of hands, all in favor? And that's carried unanimously. Thank you, everyone. Move on to the consent agenda. Does anyone wish to remove any items from the consent agenda? Not seeing any. Can I have someone make that motion? Oh, I want to click that. Go ahead, Councillor Scott.
So moved.
Thank you. Can I have someone second that motion, please? The mic still works. Councillor Vardy? It's your, Councillor Vardy, your,
So on. Yes, I moved.
thank you. I'll call for a vote. In favor, raise the hands. And against? That's carried unanimously. Thank you. Next up, we have the report on 2025 External Audit Service Plan. I'd like to invite Corporate Services to introduce the report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. For the record, my name is Lori Farquharson, Chief Financial Officer. Here with me this evening are external auditors Andrew Geary and Sanjeev Rajani from Deloitte LLP to present the 2026 External Audit Plan. The Municipal Government Act requires every Alberta municipality prepare and submit a financial information return and audited financial statements each year for the preceding year. The audit process begins with the audit plan, which details the scope and time frame of the audit, which my colleagues here will now present.
Perfect, thank you. First, wanted to say congratulations to all the new and returning council members, and welcome to the audit process for 2025. As Lori mentioned, my name is Sanjeev Rajani. I am the director from the Deloitte External Audit Team, and I'm joined by Andrew Geary, the lead client service partner, on the engagements that Deloitte performs for the municipality. We are here to present to you with our audit plan for the municipality's consolidated financial statements in accordance with public sector accounting standards as at and for the year ended December 31st, 2025. We've provided our report, and we will go over a couple items and then be happy to take any questions at the end if there are any. If we can start on our executive summary page, which would be page 1 of our report. Our preliminary materiality for the year has been set at $28 million based on 2024 actual expenditures, and we will monitor and update our materiality as necessary as we work through our audit process throughout the year. In addition, we will report to you any uncorrected misstatements greater than our reporting threshold of 5% of materiality or anything we may consider qualitatively material. Also documented here is a summary of our significant risk areas. Our significant risk areas relate to revenue recognition, administration override of controls, and tangible capital assets. These risks are consistent on a year-over-year basis and also fairly consistent with the types of risks you would expect at municipalities from an audit perspective. Pages 3 to 6 in our report provide more details on the specific types of procedures we perform. I won't go over those at this time in detail. When considering page 7, the audit of the municipality is considered a group audit, and we perform our audit procedures on the components of the municipality as well. We provide standalone opinions on these entities, which are all listed in our report. We report the results of those standalone audits directly to those charged with governance of each of the respective subsidiaries. Appendix 1 summarizes our required communications to those charged with governance, which we are doing here today, and we will also conclude at year end. Appendix 2 has our timelines for our audit process, as we have discussed and agreed with the administration. And finally, Appendix 3 has a list of our upcoming list of the upcoming standards for future years that we have included here as information. There are no new standards that are applicable for the 2025 audit year. That concludes the balance of our audit report. We'd be happy to take any questions if there are any at this time.
Thank you on behalf of council. Does council have any questions at this time? Councillor Luana Boussier.
Thank you, Mayor Bowman. Through the chair to the presenters, thank you for the presentation. Can you tell me if Deloitte has any other contracts with the municipality outside of the audit?
Through the chair to Councillor Boussier, no, we do not.
Okay, thank you. And then through the chair to the CAO, do we have a policy on the frequency of changing our auditors and putting that out to RFP?
I'll defer that to our CFO there.
Through the chair to Councillor Boussier, we went through a public process with an RFP. Deloitte was the successful proponent. That contract was for 5 years and did give us the option to extend it. We are now in the final year of those extensions, and we're in the process of fleshing out the statement of work and prepared to go to market again for the 2026 audit year.
Thank you. So just to clarify, do we have a policy? Thank you for that information. I'm just wondering if we have a policy.
I can't recall other than the FIN 030, but that doesn't look like, so we'd have to look at that, Councillor Boussier, and we'll get back to you on that.
Please do. Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Boussier. Councillor Cardinal.
Thanks, Mayor, through the chair. To the presenters, thank you for the presentation. I got a quick question about implications of per year and the increase in the budget per external audit from 2021 to 2024, I think it is, or 2025. Because I know that, well, that's my question actually, sorry.
Through the chair to Councillor Cardinal, there has been some increases on an annual basis, which is a part of the contract. And there are additional advisory services that Deloitte was requested to do. It was the ARO, so Asset Retirement Obligation. We required their assistance for that, which was an increase. And then there were some auditing standards that we needed to implement, and so we utilized the contract to have their assistance with that as well.
Thanks for the response. Is it, so with the indicators that you specified, are they every single year that they're doing the same adjustment?
No, go ahead.
Through the chair to Councillor Cardinal, no, there were one-off exercises to help establish how to account for the new standards, and then administration has prepared those numbers going forward, so no.
No, that's it. Thanks.
Thanks, Councillor Cardinal. Councillor Lance Boussier.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, through the chair. On the significant audit risk on the report here, on page 3, it says significant level. Is that reflecting our corporation? Is that just an example?
So the name significant, it's basically allows the level of testing and the focus that we put towards these areas. These specifically listed here are, yes, for this engagement, but for example, the revenue standard and also administration override of controls are required by our professional standards to be at a significant risk level. There's nothing in terms of fraud or anything that was identified that increased this level of risk.
Okay. Second question through the chair. We were given a 3 or 4 page information sheet, and there was a couple common misconceptions. I'm just looking for some clarity. And I don't know if this is through the chair to Lori or to the presenters. One of the common misconceptions, it says auditors do not have an administration role. They only assess financial statements that administration creates. So is that a misconception or is that true?
So our role is, in truth, to audit the financial statements. We don't create the financial statements.
So
So that's not a misconception.
I understand your question, Councillor. Yeah, those are not, it's the opposite of those would be the misconceptions. So it's a common misconception is that we are part of administration.
Right.
But we're not. So I understand the confusion. To clarify, the common misconception would be that we do look at value for money. We do not.
Right.
Common misconception would be we are part of administration. We are not.
Okay.
And second one, common misconception would be we look at every transaction. We do not.
Right.
So does that
Yeah,
answer your, yeah.
just want clarity in the third point, and maybe I should start. It says here there's limited fraud detection in that auditors may find fraud, but are not responsible for detecting all fraudulent activities. Can you just, layman's terms, tell me what that actually means?
Yeah, so it's the differentiation between a forensic audit and a financial statement audit. So a forensic audit would specifically be looking for fraud. So we don't specifically look for fraud. We may come across it as part of our testing. Obviously, if we do, we raise that and raise it with administration and to council. But it's not the primary objective, and the tests that you do to do audit are not specifically designed to identify and find fraud.
Okay, just further to that, are you obligated professionally to report it back to council or just the CFO and CAO?
We would absolutely report that to council if we found evidence of fraud.
Does it have to be a certain level of fraud or $1?
We would never find $1. Our
Being a little
materiality is
facetious,
28 million. But when we talk about our reporting responsibilities, we have 28 million as the materiality level. There's an overriding qualitative aspect to our decision. So if we believe it's qualitatively important and significant to council, we would raise it. So without a specific example, I'm not sure I can think of a situation where if we did find fraud, we would not consider that of qualitative significance to raise with council. So yes, I would say we would, and we can. We would bring it to council if we found any fraud.
So just for clarity, there's not a threshold where it would be worth bringing back to council? There's not a number value where you all of a sudden say, well, I think this is significant that I need to report back to council.
That would be the judgment of the partner on the file. In my personal judgment, I would always, I think if there was something fraudulent, we would bring that up, regardless of the dollar value.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Bussier. Councilor Weigel?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, through the chair. When we get to the group auditing, has it always been our standard that the same auditor would do those 4 corporations as well as ours? And so we mandate that they use the same one just so we're aligned? Is that the correction?
Through the chair to Councillor Weigel. Yes, so the request for proposal for audit services that we responded to several years ago included all of the municipality and all of the subsidiaries. So that was the process that established us as the auditors for the group. If you don't, there's implications. If someone else is auditing the subsidiaries in a group, the auditors would need to communicate and rely on each other's work.
Right.
So there's obvious benefits to having it as a group, but in this specific instance, the RFP was for the group, and that was the process that established us as the auditors.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Councillor Weigel. Are there any, sorry, go ahead, Councillor Lance Boussier.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor, through the chair. Our Part 9 corporations, I don't know if you look that often, but it's difficult. You have to do a lot of work to find their audited financial statements. Is that common practice for Part 9s not to be transparent and publish their annual financial statements?
Through the chair to Councillor Boussier, I'd say it's a fairly mixed bag. Some will, some don't. Some produce summary statements that they would include in an annual statement. I wouldn't say there's any common practice. I'd say it's a fairly mixed bag across the board.
Is there, through the chair, is there a reason why any corporation wouldn't? Like I'll pick on the airport. Like they publish theirs every year, or they have. And
Sorry, who?
The airport.
Right.
They publish theirs every year.
Yeah, I can't think of a reason why you would or you wouldn't. It's not a question I've had before, so.
I find it interesting that it takes a lot of effort to find their financials. And like you said, it's piecemeal. And I don't know. So I guess through the chair to our CEO or CF, is there a policy in place that our Part 9 corporations are obligated to publish their in a timely fashion?
Through the chair to Councillor Boussier, I'm not sure if there's an actual policy that says that they have to post it, but they certainly have to perform their audit. It's part of our contract, and they're required to comply with it for us to be able to complete our consolidated audit. If they're not publishing it online, and that's something that council would like to see, then I'm hearing this evening that perhaps a policy on this whole process would be provide some clarity for all players. That we could certainly work on that through the audit committee.
Thank you.
Thanks, Councillor Boussier. Do you have any questions from council? I'm not seeing any, so thank you again very much. Do we have any delegates this item? Can I have someone make the motion? Councillor Allen?
I move that the 2025 External Audit Service Plan as outlined on Attachment 1, provided by the external auditors Deloitte LLP, be approved.
Thank you. And seconder, Councillor Scott?
So seconded.
Thank you. Council, have any debate, discussion, or comments? Not seeing any, so I'll call for a vote of hands in favor. And opposed? And that's carried unanimously. Thank you, everyone. Next up, we have the report on policy making. GOV-010. I'd like to invite Legislative Services to introduce the report, please. And whenever you're ready, Jade.
Good evening, Council. My name is Jade Brown, Chief Legislative Officer. I'm joined this evening by Tanya Lopez, Manager of Policy. Together, we'll provide a brief overview of proposed governance policy titled Gov 010 Policy Making. Since July, a dedicated working group made up of representatives across the organization from legal services, corporate services, CAO's office, and legislative services has been focused on strengthening our approach to policy governance and development. Policies contribute to effective government and governance. They help ensure consistency in council decision-making and provide clarity to the public and those affected by council's decisions. Policies represent the philosophy of council and convey a sense of the direction of decision-making to the public and affected parties. Policy-making document before you tonight marks the first step in our renewed commitment to policy governance. In essence, it outlines the authority granted to council under the Municipal Government Act and affirms that council will approve policies via resolution to guide administration in achieving council's goals and priorities. Looking ahead, we'll be bringing forward additional policies over the next several meetings with a focus on governance and foundational matters. This concludes our overview. Thank you.
Thank you. On behalf of council, thanks for your report. Do we have any questions? I'm not seeing any, so I'm going to ask a quick question. As Councillor Boussier mentioned about a policy on audit reporting from Part 9s and other companies, would this be a place where you bring that policy forward to bring it to council?
We could definitely look at creating a policy overarching on the function of auditing in the region.
Perfect. Thank you. Councillor Scott?
Hi, Jade, and thanks for the presentation. Are we doing a comprehensive policy review, or is that a continual process that we're doing?
Thank you. And through the CAO to Councillor Scott, we are undertaking a review. I would say it's an ongoing process. We have many policy documents, some that have been updated recently, others that are outdated. We're taking a comprehensive review and looking at starting with the very top high-level governance policies and working our way through those, of course prioritizing the ones that council would like us to focus on.
Does council have any other questions? I'm not seeing any, so thank you very much. Do we have any delegates to this item? Oh, sorry, Councillor Scott. Okay. Okay. Do we have any delegates? No. Okay, Councillor Scott, you want to make the motion? Thank you. And a seconder for that, please. Councillor Weigel.
I second the motion.
Thank you. And a show of hands, I'll call for a vote in favor. And opposed? And that's carried unanimously. Thank you. Thanks, everyone. That concludes, actually, the shortest meeting probably ever. That concludes the meeting for public business matters for today's meeting. We'll take a short recess, clear the gallery, move into closed session. Can I have someone make the motion to move into closed session? Councillor Cardinal.
I move that we move into closed session. Thanks for the public for being here.
Check.
Okay, I move that council. I move that council close item 5.1 to the public and move into closed session at 5:33 p.m. pursuant to Section 29 brackets 1 of the Access to Information Act.
Thanks, Councillor Cardinal. Can I have a second for that?
Seconded.
Thank you, Councillor Scott. Call for a vote. Show of hands in favor. And that's carried unanimously. Thank you, everyone. So we'll take 5 minutes and meet back here. Thank you, everyone.